What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Daredevil issue number 6. Most recently, what we saw is Daredevil breaking out a bunch of individuals from prison. That is because he is building his army, reforming the Fist. They are planning to finally take down the Hand, which is currently led by Frank Castle. The Hand is making great moves across the globe. They are trying to take absolute power. And so while Elektra goes to investigate just how much power they have, unbeknownst to them, Captain America and Iron Man, they have caught on to what is happening. After the prison break, the Avengers are assembling, and they plan to bring in both Daredevils. Now, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are seeing some of our new recruits. We have Speed Demon, Bullet, Fancy Dan, Stiltman, The Wrecker, Stegron, Agony, all of these individuals sitting down having their little, I guess you could say, daily meeting with Sasquatch. He has been giving them therapy sessions. He is trying to heal them, to try and help them become better versions of themselves. In the midst of one of these little interviews, that is where Agony tells him that he talks far too much. With him not stopping, she goes in and she attacks him. Breaking through the wall, the two of them are about to have their fight. But that is when Daredevil steps up. She tries to say that Agony herself is violence, but Daredevil lets her know that she is not violence, that she has suffered from violence, that she is reflecting that outward. But here and now, she will only suffer from care. She will only suffer from love. Agony no longer having that instinct to just take his throat out. At this point, she's more annoyed by all of this preaching. Outside of this little incident, most of these sessions, they've gone surprisingly well. Most of the inmates that they had rescued, they are open to talking. It does help that he is 8 feet tall and weighs hundreds, 500 to be exact, hundreds of pounds. It makes them a little more compelled to have these conversations. But something in the air, he believes, truly does help them want to talk more, to open up more. Daredevil says that it's the peace, it's the freedom, no longer being locked away in a cage, the sunlight on their faces, the ocean wind against their skin. And while Elektra, she finds herself in Paris, France, we have a conversation between Daredevil and Bullet. And Daredevil goes on to have a conversation with him because in one of his therapy sessions, Bullet had been lying. Daredevil, with his new enhanced abilities, his senses kicked up 1000%. He was able to eavesdrop on the conversation even though he didn't necessarily want to do so. But he knows that Bullet was lying because Bullet had said that Lance, his son, had died. The truth is, he didn't die. Bullseye did not kill him. He had sent his son into hiding to keep him away from the world that he had been in for so very long. While it is the only life that Bullet knows, he wants better for his son. Bullet goes on to say that this place is kinda like a prison, and while Daredevil says that it's not, he tries to let him know that this place is here to help you, that everyone they rescue, they have been through the revolving door of the penal system for so very long, that this has to be more than punishment, that they have to find a way to help one another, to grow, to be better. And while Bullet believes himself not to be a charity case, Daredevil reminds him that empathy is not charity. Wanting to lift other people up, this should be the normal, that if someone doesn't have the means to cook, that they should feed them. We should teach them new paths, help them become better people. That way, when they go back home, when they are truly ready to do so, it doesn't have to be all or nothing. That is when Bullet lets him know to save it. Save all of your preaching, all of this. Because worse comes to worse, this place is is nothing more than a vacation, because while Daredevil, he can sit here and say all of this. Don't pretend like he is going to put Bullet or any of the others into new legitimate careers in the real world. They had been broken out of prison. They can't go back to America. If they do, they will get put in the same exact hole that they had been pulled out of. They are a fugitive, and Daredevil knows damn well that none of them can go back. To Bullet, this is nothing more than more of the same thing he has seen over and over and over again. He knows that Daredevil wants something more from him, from all of them. After Bullet leaves the room, Daredevil, trying to be the calm teacher, trying to lead by example, but he finds it so hard to keep that calm. He feels everything more. His senses in overdrive. He is trying so hard to tamper it down, but we see him throw pots and pans across the room because this is becoming something very difficult to control. That is what takes us over to Elektra. In this hotel room, this is where she runs into Iron Man outside of the window, letting her know to step away from the president. While she faces off against Iron Man, Daredevil and Stick watching the others, watching them grow, watching them train, not even sure if any of this is actually going to work. It all really depends on what Elektra finds. If the Hand is taking control of world leaders, killed them, and replaced them with puppets, adding Frank Castle being the leader, they're gonna have to make their move, and they're gonna have to make it quickly. With Elektra facing off against Iron Man, using her size, a weapon that was upgraded by Tony Stark during the King in Black event. Iron Man, more than anything, he is trying to get answers, not knowing what her and the other Daredevil are up to, breaking people out of prison and now going after a president. This is where we see two ninja from behind Iron Man taking daggers and stabbing him through his suit because it is some Makarian skin, 1 nanometer thick at its edge. The blade will always find its mark. The truth is, Iron Man doesn't know what he is stepping in. He doesn't know what he is getting into, and he truly doesn't understand the bigger picture. That is when Elektra, she goes to the president, asking if he is actually the president or if he is just a shell. Standing next to the window, he says that he is the president and he is in hell. That is when he leaps from the building. As he falls down to his death, Elektra chasing after him. With his last words, he says that it is too late, daughter of the Hand, traitor of the beast, that they have them all, and soon they will have all of them, that soon one of you will die and the prophecy will be fulfilled. The news going out across the globe, Elektra being seen at the death of this president. We see Akka, the true shadow leader behind the Hand. She has come to the Punisher, letting him know that Daredevil and his organization, they are headed to Japan. The Punisher saying that the High Priestess, she betrayed the cause, which we saw in issue number 5 of the Punisher. More than likely, he is referring to when the High Priestess decided she was going to kill a bunch of the ninja families, trying to make them more like the Punisher. He tells her to ready the army because there are some murderers that need to be punished. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, I wasn't really sure if this fight was actually going to kick off because Daredevil and Punisher, while they have different methods, for the most part, they work for the same side. Now, by all accounts, it appears that the Punisher is unaware of government officials being replaced with puppets. Now, don't get me wrong, the Punisher could be very aware of this and just not care, but it's more than likely that that is not the case. What we have seen throughout the Punisher line is that he is really trying to take over everything. He is trying to become that one individual, but he also is not stopping from going and killing murderers. He does this on the daily. It is part of his everyday duties to punish those that have been punished by beheading, by shooting, by whatever means necessary. And while he is currently facing against the god of war, when he sets his eyes upon the Fist, an organization that is made up of murderers as well, will the Punisher finally stop his killing spree? Will he side with Daredevil, or will he see them as murderers that need to be punished? Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with Daredevil, do me a favor and check out the link in the description as well as the top of this video. It is gonna get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having 5 different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to getting free comics every single month. Not only does this help out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you are unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.